You're free to go. Just don't get in any more trouble. Alright, bucko? Alright?
Alright.
Alright, now get out!
Well, I'll be honest. I don't know where I'm going. I kind of just kept walking around until I got to this town, and now I've got nowhere else to go. Maybe I should set some goals. Goals are simultaneously super easy to set, but also extremely hard to set, and this is because you get that motivation for something, but then it's hard to judge how far that motivation will end up taking you. Then you end up with goals that just don't work, and you begin to spiral as you're not living up to your unknowingly unrealistic standards, and then you begin to fall apart, and everything seems increasingly tough, and then so, how do you properly set goals? Well, it seems there are a few popular methods. One is the famous SMART method. The SMART method, if you're unfamiliar, refers to an acronym that spells SMART. It stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-based. The goal of this goal-setting method is to help you keep it realistic and to help you keep focused on that goal. You want to keep it specific. You want to know what you're trying to do. You want to make it measurable so you can recognize that progress you make. You want to make it achievable. I mean, it's got to be realistic. It's good to dream big, but you can't be making big leaps first thing, otherwise you'll end up overwhelmed and unsatisfied. You want to keep it relevant. Your life will still go on, and while the goal may be able to change it eventually, it's probably good to not upheave everything in your day-to-day yet, I think. I don't know, maybe it could work for you, I guess. And finally, you want to keep it time-based. Having a good goal means there's something you want to accomplish, so give yourself a deadline, doggammit. Now, I've been going off this goal-setting system with my goal of making a video every week for a year to become better at writing and making content. But personally, I found this is too broad for me. Like, how am I supposed to inherently do more than what I already know to improve what I'm doing? Well, that's where this second goal-setting system comes into play. What I've dubbed the breakdown method. Now, I know from the title alone it sounds like, well, the opposite of what you'd want to achieve with goals, but trust me on this. The breakdown method works in tandem with the SMART method to take your big long-term goal and to break it up into smaller goals and objectives. And then with those smaller goals, you reapply that SMART goal method and you keep downsizing until it feels like something you can actually do. At least that's the idea. For me, if I were to break down my goal of making a video every week for a year, I'd look at what I want to accomplish, which is to become better at making content, and then break that down. So here's what I got. I want to become 3D by week 26. Make longer videos with substance. Yeah, I know the list is short, but that's all I've got right now, okay? I'll update it with time, but I've got to learn my limits with this sort of thing. But getting back to the point, if I take these smaller goals and I use them throughout this big lengthy goal, I can hopefully make it easier on myself to recognize the progress I make. I think the best way to look at goals is like working out and getting in shape. Those first few weeks, it's going to be hard to notice a difference, and you're going to feel exhausted and like it's not worth the time it's taking. But when you look back after a few months, you recognize your progress, and that in turn motivates you. Then there's also the discussion of how to overcome feeling as if you've plateaued, and yeah, that ends up tying into burnout or subconsciously falling into comfortable patterns that make your goals feel more monotonous than growth-oriented. And I guess a lot of that comes down to reevaluating what you're doing, and if you need to find a different approach or to push yourself a little more, or maybe even just tune it down a little bit. Honestly, I'm not 100% sure on that part, but you and I know ourselves the best, so be honest with yourself and where you feel like you're at. Push yourself, but don't strain yourself. Challenge yourself, but don't stay defeated when you fall, and don't stay too comfortable when you succeed. I mean, at least that's what I believe. Again, it may be different for you, but just remember to keep that goal in focus. In conclusion, there are a lot of things worth doing, and sometimes I wish you could just run there as fast as you can, but as they say, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. And then another reminder, you're not going to be the same person when you reach your goals. I know, it's a little cheesy, but it's about the journey, not the destination. Now, to learn 3D.